Let's listen to this sound from Adrian Martin. I mean, here's the thing, is that, and now we know that cop in McKinney has resigned. I don't know if they're going to bring charges against him. And it is the case that the only thing that we've seen are 7 minutes of video, at least in terms of the overall incident. And it's also the case that there are different accounts of what happened prior to the cops' arrival. Some reports have been that, well, the girl who lived there, she wasn't allowed to invite all those people, and 100 teenagers showed up, and some of the teenagers were climbing on the walls, and they weren't listening to security guards. I'm going to stipulate that all that's true. I'm going to stipulate that there was total chaos. The reason why we have police officers is because they're supposedly trained to deal with those situations. There is no circumstance that could have preceded this 7-minute video that called for that cop to do what he did. In terms of physically abusing that girl and pulling the gun on those kids, there's no circumstance. None. Zero. There's absolutely zero circumstance that justifies that cop's behavior. So it doesn't matter what took place. It doesn't matter. And here is the kid who the cop pulled the gun on. And not only is he extremely sort of presenting this in a very sort of like methodical way, his description it's really clear from the video that he had total awareness of the situation that was going on. Like, this is not a guy who at the time was out of control in any way. He was going to help this girl who he saw was being abused by this cop. All right, so play this. This is Adrian Martin.
It happened on Friday, and I just attended a pool party. You know, I got an invitation to go to this pool party, and it started out all good until about an hour into the party and whatnot. And I didn't hear nothing about the prior fight to the whole situation, but I heard about the girl. Well, it was my brother's classmate. He goes to school with her. I heard about her, and so I went over to check everything out. And at that point in time, she was getting manhandled by one of the officers. So I'm trying to, tell the officer, please, can you please stop? You're hurting her. Like, you can clearly see that he's twisting her arm, having her shoved into the ground, and everything else. And so I shift to the side a little bit to get her to look at me in the face like, look, we're going to call your mom. It's all right, because she's shouting, call my mom and call my mama. So I'm telling her, all right, we're going to call your mom. And as you can see in the video, my friend has his arm rest against me, and we're on an incline, and he accidentally bumps into me, and which makes me kind of slip down that incline and makes it appear that I'm lunging towards the officer. So as soon as that happens, I know to keep my distance, so I back up. And once I back up, he draws his weapon, and that's at that point in time I feared for myself, so I started to run.
Yeah, there you go. So just one more angle on this. It's extremely hard to imagine. And maybe it's just that, when white kids get together for a pool party, I mean, white kids get together at a parking lot to drink beers, or the house party that's gone awry. Maybe they just don't have cell phones and they don't take video of it. But it is really hard to imagine this happening to white kids. I've never seen it. And I've been in places many times as a kid where the cops broke stuff up. Now, that was a long time ago. Maybe cops are different today. But this is a suburban neighborhood. This is we're going into a war zone. That doesn't look like it. We don't know what kind of weapons they could possibly have hiding in their bikinis. I mean, give me a break here. There's no doubt in my mind this cop has a real problem that transcends race and the situation. But that said, these problems tend to exhibit themselves more freely in a context where they perceive these kids as being sort of other than them.